Hi, I'm Amy Kelly for Tooele TV, and tonight I am joined with a remarkable, I would say, one of our little county treasures here. His name is Mark Messick, and he's the author of 12 books, and I can't get over it, but tell us how old you are.
I'm 17 years old.
I mean, that's remarkable. Remarkable. Anyway, couldn't stop. But tell me, what gets you so driven to do these things? I mean, 12 books takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's all on Amazon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, kind of a funny story. So when I was 10 years old, I just randomly one day decided to start writing a book. And I had a lot of fun, so I kept doing it. And that, one thing led to another. And when I was 13, I published my first book on Amazon, self-published it. And it sold really horribly. I made like $1.05 from that book. But I really loved it, so I kept doing it until eventually I was successful.
Well, I mean, it shows a lot for the kind of guy you are. That's pretty exceptional. What kind of upbringing have you had? A very supportive one, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When I was 10 years old, my parents started to homeschool me, which I think definitely played a huge role in this because before I was homeschooled, when I was in public school, and I'm not trying to bash public school at all. I think public school is great for a lot of kids. But for me, I had a certain group of friends there, and based on who they expected me to be, that's how I acted. Even, as an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, every decision I made was based on what I thought they wanted me to do. And so as soon as I started homeschool and I didn't have that social pressure, that gave me the ability to explore new things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. And one of those things was writing. I write a lot of self-help books. Probably my favorite one, a recent one, is called Stupid on Purpose, which is about being the person that you want to be regardless of what other people may think.
Oh, I like that. Stupid on Purpose. So with these titles, how do you come up with some of this stuff?
My process has changed a bit through time. When I first started, I had really horrible titles. One of my first books was called Productivity Unleashed, which is just really kind of bland and generic. And over time, I, through trial and error, learned that, you really have to have something that's unique and that nobody else has done before. And so now a lot of times my book ideas will actually grow from the title. So I'll have the idea for a title first. So that happened with Stupid on Purpose. Like that thought popped into my head. And I'm like,
where were you when you had Stupid on Purpose? Where was that?
Probably somewhere really stupid. I don't remember. And then, I decided to write a book around that idea. And then I do that same thing for all of my new books. So I'm writing a book right now called I Laugh When You're in Pain, which is about building willpower and courage.
I actually do. No, I'm kidding. Funny.
And let's see. I got another one that's called This Book Won't Change Your Life. And it's a self-help book telling people not to read self-help books because there's better things to do with your time.
Which could be very true. I tend to be a little bit addicted myself, but it seems like everybody's trying to be an expert these days. So with all of that said, you kind of are an expert in your field. As far as 12 books, come on, that's something really remarkable at age 17 to have that under your belt. Do you go around using that as bragging rights? Picking up chicks? What?
No, I think... So it's a very weird situation to be in, being 17 years old and then writing books that basically give life advice. That was a big obstacle that I had to overcome at first was, convincing people that I actually do have a message to offer. And I definitely don't know everything and I don't pretend to know everything. But I think I do have some ideas that can help people, just be a little bit happier each day.
Well, I like that. I really do. And so if there's somebody watching here in Tooele who's a budding author and doesn't quite know how to get started, what would be the one bit of advice that you would give?
I would say you have to really, really, really love it if you want to do it because it's really hard. It took me 2 years between ages 13 and 15 before I had any success at all. During those 2 years, like the most I ever made in a month was probably like $20. And I was putting a ton of time into it and a ton of money into it. I was losing money for a while. And then finally, after the 2 years, I had some success. But if I didn't absolutely love it with everything that I had, I wouldn't be successful. But if you do love it with everything you have, then you definitely can do it. I mean, I figured it out. And I really think you can do it. You need to want it bad enough.
What's a little zone that a person could go to find that knowledge, to get to know how to get the juice, fire, burning desire? What would they do?
So what I did is I did a ton of research. There's a bunch of great resources everywhere. I read hundreds of books about marketing. Not just, book marketing, but marketing in general. I think a lot of authors there they're authors, and they're not really business minded. And I think you definitely need to get into the business side of things if you want to be successful, and you can't just be an author.
Well, that's a really good way to look at it, too, because you've got to be well-rounded. But searching outside of yourself for information is a good thing. So you're saying don't go to YouTube then, or should you?
When I started out, I didn't go to YouTube, but I'm sure there's great stuff. In fact, I've done a couple of YouTube interviews, and I know there's some really great people there that have some good advice.
Well, awesome. I just know that seems to be the button everybody pushes these days, YouTube or Google. All right, well, that's awesome. And if somebody wants to find some of your work, how do they get a hold of you? What do they do?
You can go to my website, which is torchtherules.com, or just search for me on Amazon, Mark Messick, and you can learn more about me.
Awesome. Well, you are quite remarkable, Mark. Remarkable. And for more remarkable interviews and fun things going on in Tooele County, stay tuned to Tooele TV. Thanks for watching. I'm Amy Kelly.